Hello, good morning, good afternoon, depending where you are in the world, and be very welcome to the first lesson, the first live of the first lesson of our four-part free masterclass, Wake Up Your Eyes. If you are here, you're probably registered to this free four-part masterclass where we are teaching how you can take care of your eyes and improve your eyesight naturally. 2 days ago, we released a video with the secret that was found over 100 years ago by an American ophthalmologist on why you can improve your eyesight naturally. And if you haven't watched that video, we would recommend you that you watch it after this live to make sure that you have all the information that can help you take care of your eyes and improve your eyesight naturally. And today we're going to dive deeper into the topics of lesson number 1. Today we're going to teach you 5 secrets, 5 tips, exercises, techniques, habits that you can use in your daily life to improve your eyesight naturally. We're going to do more things today. We're going to review the secret to improving your eyesight naturally without glasses or surgery, contacts or drops. We're going to teach you those 5 keys to improve your vision every day. I'm going to talk about my own vision journey. In the presentation I did last Sunday, I introduced myself professionally already. But today I'm going to tell you more about how I myself had vision issues in 3 different moments of my life. And solving them, I got inspired into helping others to do the same. And my story also contains gems and seeds of wisdom that you can use to your own understanding of eyesight and vision, and you'll probably resonate with some of the situations that I experienced. We'll go deeper on lesson number 1. We'll share those 5 tips and exercises. We'll review the STAR technique of natural vision improvement that we taught in video number 1. We will answer questions. And on the way, you will discover other people who have applied these techniques in the past and who have had success with them. For example, I have with me Diana, Yolanda from the ClearSight Method team. They are both vision coaches. I'm going to mute because there's some weird echo. One of you has some other device where you can hear me. So anyway, Diana is a vision coach of the 3rd generation of the Vision Coach University program degree. And Yolanda is also a vision coach from the 4th generation. And we also have from the 3rd generation, Daniela Mercado. She's not part of the team, but she also went through the training. I understand that Sara is just in background with other functions. So you get to hear their stories, their success stories, what natural vision improvement did for them, and the techniques that we are teaching, how they impacted their eyesight. And I want you to know that you are one of more than 5 million participants that we've had all over the world since we started teaching this free 4-part masterclass in 2016. This is 10 years ago. This year, it's our 10th anniversary. And we teach this course in Spanish, in English. We tend to have a larger audiences when we do it in Spanish. But still, we want to reach the whole world. We want to help the whole world to see clearly again. So English is the language that allows us to go even further internationally. And we're very happy that you're here. So share where you are from. Where are you watching us from? I'm seeing that there's people from Toronto, from Slovenia, from Buenos Aires, but originally from Vancouver, from Belgium, from London, from the Netherlands. From Slovenia, living in the Netherlands. Okay, so this is great. Very happy that you're here. And I imagine that if you're here, you probably wear glasses or contacts. Maybe need to use drops for your eyes, or you have had surgery in the past, and maybe it caused some problems, or it solved the symptoms, but the symptoms came back after some time, or you want to avoid getting surgery in the future, maybe for cataracts or for refractive errors like nearsightedness. Well, if that's the case, if you have issues with your eyesight, you are in the right place. If you don't have problems with your eyesight, but want to take care of your eyes, want to learn how to take care of your eyes and have optimal eyesight for life, you are also in the right place. And that is also regardless of what symptoms you may have, what age you may have, and whether you've had surgery in the past or not. The techniques that we teach are useful for all of these cases. Yeah. And if you know anyone in your environment that wears glasses, that needs contacts, that is burdened because they fear a surgery, you can also share this information with them, and you may be giving them a huge service. So share with the people that you care about, and they may be very grateful with you for life. Now, we're in the first lesson of this free four-part masterclass, and this is an important question. Are you interested? Are you engaged? Because it's always good to learn new things, but information alone will not generate transformation. If you want to transform, in this case, the quality of your eyesight and the quality of your life through vision, then besides gathering good, helpful information, you will need to take some steps. And that means implement the things that you're learning, apply what we teach. So please write in the chat if you are if you're interested or if you are also engaged. Yes, I see there's also people from the UK, from Australia. I see Yahira is saying, I am ready to improve my eyesight. Yay. People from London, and some people are mentioning their issues. Okay. If you want to mention what are the challenges you have with your eyesight, we will let you know actually that you can help yourself to better eyesight with the things that we're teaching. Okay, and if you're engaged, because I see some people are that are writing that they're engaged, which is great. If you're engaged, well, a proof of that is that you will have seen video number one already. So if that is the case, if you already watched video number one, did you practice the start technique that we taught in video number one, palming? If that's the case, if you practice palming, what did you notice? What changed in the sensations in your eyes? What changed in the sensations and in the quality of your vision when you practice palming? And I'm hearing here that Raul is very excited to learn with his kids from Colorado. Michael is very excited to learn. Teresa is sharing that she had surgery and something went wrong. Salma wants to get rid of her glasses. Yahira has dry eyes and floaters. And let me assure you that with all the things that you're mentioning, we're going to be able to help you. Okay, I'm willing to do the work. I'm very engaged and interested. Okay, Sarah started the palming. Yes, so what did you notice with the palming? And I see other people saying that they watched the videos, they started practicing. So Angelica noticed relaxation and seeing the colors better. There you go. You immediately started feeling the effect of palming. Binikia, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Your eyes and your whole body relaxed. Absolutely. That's one of the benefits of palming. It's good for your eyes. It's good for your nervous system. It's good for your brain. It's good for resting. Some people also get rid of headaches through palming. We're using it here for eyesight, but it also has other benefits. Raul saying that he felt relaxed and warm. Great. What else? So I start to see some questions that we are going to take the time to answer in a moment. Lara mentions, I felt warm and sensation on the top of my head. Very good. Soraya, after palming, I see colors more vivid. Great. This is a very, very good sign. I'm seeing more questions. We'll get to those. Biologica Netherlands saying yes, and I practice palming, and amazing that I can see after 2 days a little bit better. I have -2 of nearsightedness. I am so happy to learn more and stay motivated. Thank you for your fantastic work. Thank you. If even with 2 days practicing palming, you're noticing that you're improving your eyesight, I mean, imagine that just brushing your teeth 2 days, the cavities would start going away. So if your eyes are so responsive that just with 2 days of practice, you're seeing better, imagine if you persevere, if you turn it into a habit, and if you add other things that we're going to teach you. Yes? Um, Okay, I'm seeing some things that I'm going to answer also. And nature dweller, I am committed and enjoying the palming. The heat from my hands not only relaxes my eyes, but also my mind. Information is good, but experience is what generates transformation and understanding. And you need both of them to improve your eyesight. Yeah. Oh, we have also people from Greece, Yorgos, um, Pilakia Polaya Sena, and some other questions that we will get to in a moment. And some questions about, is it possible to cure this or that? Yes, it's possible to cure cataracts. For example, we have examples of a lot of people that have reversed cataracts and avoided surgeries with the techniques that we teach. We have people from Australia, amazing. And Soraya mentions palming makes my eyes tear and refreshed. Palming is amazing for people who have dry eye. It helps the eye to be moist again and to feel refreshed, like you say. Okay, so for all of those, watch video number 1 and practice palming and started noticing changes. And for also those who haven't yet started and want to take care of their eyes and improve their eyesight. So do you want to keep learning and keep improving your eyesight? Okay. And Sarah, your intuition is very good. There's several reasons, and we'll get to that as well. Okay, so if you want to keep learning and learn more, make sure that you are registered for this free 4-part masterclass. Please, team, share the links again so that if people visiting us unregistered, that they can do it, yeah? So that you get the most benefit, that you get the various notifications and emails, and so you can practice. Okay, I did say that today I was going to speak a little bit more about myself, not so much from the professional perspective, which I can do quickly, but from the perspective of my own vision journey and the moments where I improved my eyesight and how I did it. Yes, macular degeneration can improve as well. Okay, so currently, not only I'm a tenured professor at the University of Toulouse, I have requested an availability to devote myself to the development of the International Center for Vision Coaching at the International University of Human Development and Leadership in Mexico, where the first degree for vision coaches at the university level has been created. And this is like a dream come true. I'm the creator of the ClearSight Method, which is in the Spanish-speaking world, the first online program for people to learn how to see clearly again, naturally, without glasses or surgery. And since 2020, 2021, we're also teaching it in English online worldwide. Again, I'm the director of the International Center for Vision Coaching, and I'm the director of the Vision Coach degree at the university. Personally, I have developed more than 20 years of research. And in history, there's been about 100 years of research on natural vision improvement. And 100 years may seem a lot or may seem little. Maybe you're surprised, like, how come that not so many people know about natural vision improvement when it's been around for 100 years? Well, glasses and surgeries for the eyes have been around since the 12th century. Okay, so of course, they're a lot more ingrained in the collective consciousness. And well, if you think that quantum physics also has 100 years, and we're also at the beginning of barely starting to understand the implications of quantum physics, not just for the atomic bomb or things like that, but actually for everyday life and human existence, well, it's not so surprising that maybe you hadn't heard of natural vision improvement before, even though it's been around for 100 years. In any case, for me, in my 20 years of training, study, and academic and scientific research, I have put together all the information I have found coming from ophthalmology and optometry, neurophysiology and neurosciences, epigenetics, nutrition, the study of posture, the study of light, but also human and social sciences such as psychology, sociology, anthropology, history, and of course, lifestyle medicine, health and habits, and natural vision improvement itself, and coaching processes into the programs that we are presenting to you. Okay, we are starting this free 4-part masterclass, Wake Up Your Eyes, where you're going to discover how it is possible to take care of your eyes and improve your eyesight naturally, not just at an intellectual level. You're going to see it with your own eyes. Don't believe me, apply, practice, and evaluate and notice with your own eyes. And we are aware that a lot of people get the solutions that they wanted during the free class. And there's also a lot of other people who want to go deeper, want more support, want to learn more, want to have more techniques, and to do have an experience with a cohort. And for those people, towards the end of this free 4-part masterclass, we will offer you the possibility to join our advanced program, which is a paid program. Yeah. In any case, whatever is your need and whatever is your level of interest or commitment, we want to be here to serve you and to support you in having the results that you want. I want you to know also that I am the co-editor of the first book anthology in the sphere of natural vision improvement. Yolanda, you can show it again. So when we were creating the university degree for vision coaches, we did a very thorough search of bibliography on natural vision improvement, and we found that there were more than 500 books on the topic in 17 languages. All of them were books written by one single person, which is great. I mean, various authors, but every book had one only author. And this is the first book that is collective by nature. So you can turn it around and show how in this book we gathered 43 experts from 16 countries sharing one extraordinary vision, the fact that you can improve your eyesight naturally and that there's so many ways to do it. That's the list of authors that Yolanda is showing. Yes, thank you very much, both of you. And this book that was published towards the end of 2024, a little bit more than a year ago, became an instant bestseller internationally. It reached the top 100 of most sold books in 11 Amazon stores. I'm not talking just that it was number one in many categories, but it was in the top 100 of 11 Amazon stores. It was number one in multiple categories for 3 weeks in a row, together with books that are very known or on topics that are very important, like Brain Brain, or books about red light therapy and things like that. So we could see the huge interest on the topic. Yes. I have also, well, I'm the director of this degree at the university level. I've received 2 honorary doctorates for the work that we are doing, spreading the good news of natural vision improvement. Oh, and I see that there's a colleague, Yorgos, is certified from Thomas Quackenbush together with Gulait Sil. Absolutely, Gulait Sil is an amazing professional and a good friend of mine. So, and I was just mentioning that the vision coach degree is the only degree for natural vision improvement professionals at the university level. And Yolanda and Diana have it. Let me show you like this. So they have it in the background. Daniela too, you can see their diploma on the wall or or on the shelf. Yes. And actually, Light Seal requested validation of experience. So if you're already a natural vision improvement professional, we can ask, there's a process at the university that, well, you need to gather some paperwork and show proof of your experience as a professional. You could request to have a validation of experience. And Gulait Seal did it. So nice to see you, Yorgos. Hieropoli. Um, so here's a picture of the first graduation ceremony, and actually Diana and Daniela, they were both in this event when we did the first ceremony of giving the university degrees. And we like to show it because we're so proud to have created this degree. And of course, this is a training for professionals, the degree, but we have distilled the most important principles and the easiest and most applicable techniques that everybody should know and everybody should be practicing a little bit every day, like you brush your teeth or you drink water or you take a shower, right? Or you put cream on your face. Like some of these techniques, it's best when they become a habit of care, of self-care. I bet that we all want to grow old and have our teeth, right, healthy. And every day we're probably brushing our teeth and using floss and mouthwash. And we also want to have optimal eyesight for life. And we're probably not paying attention at our eyes the same way that we are for our teeth, with just some little bit of daily care. And this is something that can be taught and can be learned. Anyway, so the core of that training that is taught at the university as a professional training, the core that everybody should learn for self-care is what is taught in the ClearSight Method. And the main ideas in this Wake Up Your Eyes free 4-part masterclass. And the ClearSight Method is a world-class natural vision improvement program. It has received numerous awards and accolades in the several few years. And we don't even update these slides anymore because the awards keep coming, and showing so many of them ends up becoming boring. Anyway, the reason why I'm mentioning this is not to show off. It's because I want you to be assured of the quality of what you're learning, how it's scientifically and institutionally endorsed, and the value that you'll get. You deserve to know that what we're teaching is legit, it will be helpful, and it will transform your eyesight. And if you improve your eyesight, you can transform your life. Now, as much as all this information is legit, again, the best way to have results and to prove to yourself that it works is by practicing and seeing with your own eyes what happens. Literally seeing with your own eyes. Yeah, seeing for yourself, seeing with your own eyes. And again, I didn't start like this, so I kind of went quickly through some of the professional achievements. But let me assure you that I wasn't born a university professor, and I didn't. Anyway, there's a lot of work and research that has been put into all of this, but I also had to go through my own journey of vision transformation. And that's how I got interested in this topic. Yeah. So I'm going to share with you the 3 moments in my life where my eyesight declined or wasn't good, and how all 3 times my eyesight improved in unconventional ways, even though doctors were involved at times. But I have never worn glasses, I have never bought glasses, and I have never had to go through any surgeries. Yes? So I've had up to 6, maybe 7 symptoms at 3 different times. According to my parents, I was born with myopia, nearsighted. Probably it was actually hyperopia, farsighted, but anyway, this is what they told me. Was clearly the case is that I had strabismus, a squint, and amblyopia, a lazy eye. When I was 6 months old, my parents were so bothered because it was very clear that my eyes were like going weird ways, and I didn't see much. My parents spoke with my grandfather, a very well-known neurosurgeon at the time in Spain, and he was very well connected with a lot of other medical doctors with different specialties. So they asked him for help for my eyesight, and my grandfather recommended a professor at the University of Granada that was a renowned specialist of children's strabismus. This doctor was first very surprised to see my parents bring me so young, and then he actually he actually celebrated that they did so because it was early enough that something could be done and that my eyesight could be improved more easily. And so the doctor invited my parents for me to wear patches a little bit in the morning, a little bit in the afternoon, not all day long. There were moments where they were on and off. And she advised them to stimulate my eyesight in various ways. So she invited my parents to do some relaxation, exercise, etc. And by the time I was 1 year old, my eyesight was perfect. So first experience almost since birth, and the credit goes to the doctor and to my parents that supported me and applied what the doctor said. But in any case, I had a very early experience of improving my eyesight naturally, and so glasses were avoided, surgery was avoided, and it was amazing. Now, another piece of good news where I was lucky to happen to be in such a family is that for some reason my parents chose to tell me this story about how I improved my eyesight as a baby in all my birthdays. So it kind of became part of my identity of the things that I had achieved and I was special for. Yeah. Well, they also told a couple of other stories of my very birth. But every year for my birthday, my improving my eyesight was a story that came back. So I grew up with a family narrative that and reality that I am someone who sees very well, far and near, day and night, and that seeing well is one of my elements of identity and my achievements. So I don't know if my parents hadn't done this systematically every year, maybe the story would have been forgotten and I wouldn't have had the awareness that eyesight can be improved. And it's one of the first things I did in life. But I was so lucky. So when almost in my early 20s, I was studying in France. I had gone with a European exchange program. Maybe some of you know about it, Erasmus. And then I decided to stay to continue there my scientific training and do a PhD. And so in my second year living in France and being 1,000 kilometers away from my hometown in the north of Spain, one day I woke up and I was seeing very double and very blurry. I panicked, I freaked out. I called my mom at 8 in the morning. She was very surprised because I would never call that early. I would call in the afternoon, evening, on the weekends, not on a weekday at 8. And she was like as much in panic as me. I'm like, mom, I cannot see. I see double. I see very blurry. I was very scared. And my mom was like, well, there's nothing I can do for you at the distance. So instead of calling me, how about you call an ophthalmologist or an optometrist, call an eye doctor. Logical, right? So you can see how old the story is, from 1996, that there was no internet, or I didn't have access to internet in any case. So I picked the yellow pages. Remember those old big thick books where everyone would advertise themselves, right? And I looked on the pages of eye doctors and started calling them. I didn't have any reference. I wasn't in France for a very long time. So I didn't think of asking my friends or the people I knew to advise a good eye doctor. So I just started calling. And the first person that could see me that very day, because I was very stressed, well, I went with that. Afterwards, I thought that that probably hadn't been a very good idea. Usually, you don't want to go to empty restaurants. There's a reason why they're empty. You would rather go to the full ones because you can eat better. So probably the specialists that were more full were better options because of the emergency and the innocence anyway. So I went there. This happened during the winter, and the appointment was in the late afternoon, so it was dark by then. It was a cold day, and the building where the appointment happened was also cold, and the light was very dim. It was not very pleasant. It was an old building with a lot of marble. It was pretty, but it wasn't welcoming. Mhm. Um, And when I got into the office, it was one of those awkward experiences where you don't know if you can sit down or you're supposed to stay up or if you can talk or you're supposed to wait until someone says something. And the reason why I'm mentioning all these elements is because they also do have an impact on eyesight, your levels of comfort or stress. Um, in any case, the moment arrives and I understand I can speak. So I say to the eye doctor that the day before I was seeing perfectly well, near, far, day and night. And since I woke up, I'm seeing double and blurry. And I ask him, I remember asking him, what has happened? Why do I see a bad eyesight right now? The question went through one ear, out the other one. He didn't even attempt to answer. He just invited me to sit in front of a machine with lenses and letters and numbers of different sizes. And he instructed me to let him know when I would see best. And I didn't really see well at any time, but I did say the moment I saw the least bad or the better. And then he wrote on a piece of paper that I had so many diopters of myopia and so many diopters of astigmatism and double vision, and that I should get glasses to wear them all the time. And I remember being completely puzzled holding that paper and saying, okay, I have these things now, but why didn't I have any of them yesterday and I have them now? All of a sudden, what happened? Because if you understand what happened, maybe you can do something about it, right? Anyway, again, he didn't answer my question and he just instructed me to pay and buy glasses and leave. And well, I was polite and paid the consultation and left. But I remember being completely boiling inside, very frustrated, very upset, uh, realizing that the eye doctor hadn't listened to me, hadn't even tried to answer my question. And I was left to buy glasses when I didn't even know what had happened with my eyes. So as I went through the corridor towards the exit of the building, I ripped the prescription, I threw it to the trash, and I told myself, I am not buying glasses until I understand what has happened. And I thank myself for the inspiration I had for that because later on I thought if I had bought the glasses and started wearing them, probably my eyesight would have gone a lot worse because the eyes get accustomed to the glasses. And the experience of 75% of people who wear glasses is that their eyesight progressively declines and gets worse. If you sprain an ankle, of course, at some point, it may be useful to wear crutches, yes? But the point is not to have the crutches for life. The point is to do the rehab for your ankle so that progressively you can let go of the crutches until you don't need them anymore. And with eyesight, when you're instructed to wear the glasses all the time, what happens is that your eyes become weaker and weaker and more dependent. A lot of people experience that when they start wearing glasses, the moment they remove them, they actually see worse than when they started needing them. Yeah. So, anyway, back to my story. I was inspired to not want to buy the glasses immediately without understanding what had happened with my eyesight. And when I got home, I don't know if she called me or I started calling friends, but in any case, I find myself in this conversation with a friend, having the opportunity to express my frustration and my disappointment and my anger and like having an opportunity to vent. She's holding the bucket for me, holding space. And after hearing me, she's like, okay, so that eye doctor didn't listen to you, didn't try to answer your question, and didn't even try to understand what was going on with your eyesight. I cannot promise you that my family doctor will have the solution, but what I can guarantee is that he will listen, he will try to understand, and he will do his best to offer a solution. And I'm like, please give me his phone number. So I called this doctor, and he gives me an appointment for the next day. In the morning, it was still winter, but it happened to be a sunny day. The sun was out. That gave already a happier, warmer feeling, right? And his consultation had a lot of natural light. It had bright colors. It was very welcoming. The doctor was also very welcoming since the moment I entered the room. And all these factors also play for good eyesight. And so I told him that a couple days earlier I was seeing perfectly, and then I woke up seeing double and blurry. And I asked him the same question, what has happened? So in this case, the doctor started exploring me very attentively and thoroughly. And after, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes of testing several things and looking at several things, he said, young lady, what you have is sinusitis. And because there's inflammation in the sinuses, and the sinuses are also around the eyes, the sinuses are compressing your eyeball, and that is what is creating the refractive errors. This is why you experience myopia, you experience astigmatism, and you experience double vision. Ah, okay. Here there's a logical explanation for something, for this symptom. So if the cause is a sinusitis, the solution in this case was taking antibiotics for 7 days. That's what the doctor told me to do. He said, take the antibiotics for 7 days. If at the end of the 7 days you still have vision problems, come back and we'll see if we can do something else. If the eye problems are gone, then you don't need to come back. And I actually never went back to the doctor ever again in my life. I don't even remember his name, and I would like actually to know. Maybe one day I'll call this friend that gave me the reference to thank him and show him what has happened after so many years from that experience. Anyway, so imagine if I had bought the glasses that the first eye doctor told me, I would probably be wearing glasses today. Yeah, because what happens when they diagnose that you have whatever number of diopters and they give you the little prescription, they tell you go to the optician, to a shop where they sell glasses, give them the instructions what you need to your eyes, for your eyes, and so you go with your little paper, and at the shop they tell you, okay, we're going to do the glasses and they're going to be precise for you, so come back in 2 weeks, we'll have them ready for you. Then 2 weeks later, when you're going to pick up your glasses, they don't evaluate your eyes again. And you're like, wait, what? Why would they have to evaluate your eyes again? Well, actually, the moment your eyes were measured, you had a degree of tension. 2 weeks later, probably you don't have the same degree of tension. Maybe you have more, maybe you have less, but it's certainly not the same level. Yeah? Like you don't have your breathing or your digestion or your elimination or your sweat the same every day. The eyes are uh, living tissue and they're reactive to how you're feeling. Anyway, so Sarah is asking about the question. I'll get to questions later. Give me a second. Bear with me. Be a little bit patient. So they don't measure your eyesight again. They just go and check for your glasses, right? With a little reference of the paper, they check for your glasses. And when they give you the glasses and you try them on, a lot of people experience this. They put them on and they're like, whoa, are you sure these glasses are for me? Because I don't see well with them. Because they're not for the level of tension in your eyes at this moment. They're for the level of tension you had 2 weeks earlier. But now, what do they tell you next? They tell you now your eyes need to get used to the glasses. Interesting. If the glasses were made by measure for the eyes, why would the eyes have to adjust to the glasses? If you get shoes that are done by measure for your foot, or you go to a tailor and they measure your body and they make a suit for your body, why would your body have to adapt to the suit or the foot to the shoe? It wouldn't make sense. You wouldn't accept that, right? So how come that we accept it for the glasses, for the eyes? And next question, if they're telling you that your eyes can adapt, they can adapt to the glasses, how about using the capacity of adaptation of the eyes in a way that they adapt to seeing well by themselves again with no crutches? And that is what we're going to be teaching you here and what we teach more extensively in the advanced program in the ClearSight method. Okay, so I'm telling you my story, but I hope that you are understanding actually pearls of wisdom, seeds of understanding that come with the story. Yeah, like for example, also with that doctor, I understood that when there's something that compresses the eyeball, that puts the eyeball under pressure, that's what generates refractive errors. The most common eye problems, are myopia or nearsightedness, right? So you see well near but not far. Hyperopia or farsightedness, it's the opposite. You see well far but not near. Presbyopia, which is the needing for reading glasses. Stigmatism, where you see the lines distorted, as strabismus or squinting, and amblyopia. And all of these eyesight symptoms are due to an excess of tension in the eye. And I remember having thought at that time, when I freed my eyes from the pressure around with the antibiotics, because in my case it was sinusitis, I remember having thought, how many people may there be out there in the world that at some point, for some reason, had pressure around the eyeballs? And if they went to the first eye doctor and the first eye doctor gave them glasses, and they were not as stubborn as I am, wanting to understand the cause for things, well, now they're wearing glasses and they could have avoided it because it was just about freeing the tension of the eyeball. Yeah. So we'll get more to that in a moment. We're going to explain how focusing works and the importance of the muscles in the eyes and around the eyes for focusing. But you need to understand that the principle number one of natural vision improvement is relaxation. You need to relax your eyes, and you need to relax your mind, and you need to relax your body to see well. And this is why the first technique that we've taught you and that we're going to teach again and go deeper into details and Q&A is palming. Yeah. Now, back to my story, and let me wrap it up quickly. I'm seeing that there's some Spanish in there. That's weird. Okay, we need to correct this. Please, Yolanda, Diana, write a note to the team that this slide needs to be corrected. Anyway, back to my story. About 10 years after that experience, I was already a tenured professor at the University of Science and Technology in Lille, in the north of France, and I was a visiting scholar, a visiting researcher and professor at the Autonomous University of Barcelona in Spain. And at the time, I was reviewing articles for a special issue of a scientific journal that I was coordinating. I was a member of the editorial board of several scientific journals at the time. And because I had to read a lot of articles very quickly and send them to evaluators and write the evaluations for the authors, etc., I would print 2 pages on 1 sheet of paper to read faster. And I realized that my arm wasn't long enough to read that small print. And then in the subway in Barcelona, I wouldn't either see the names of the stops for the metro stops. So I realized, third time in my life that I'm having vision problems. But now I know that they can be reversed, that you don't need glasses, you don't need surgeries. There's other ways to improve your eyesight. At the time when this happened, I had already been studying psychosomatic approaches to health for the previous 5 years. I had been studying them for recurring back problems and allergies, and I had had very successful results with them. So I thought, okay, I know you can improve your eyesight at the physical level and at the chemical level. I've done both. But how about if I can also improve my eyesight at the emotional and metaphorical level, which was what I was studying at the time? In these approaches, the main idea is that when there is a symptom that appears in your body, it is the reflection of tension in your consciousness or some suppressed, unexpressed, non-integrated, non-transcended emotion that you've been holding inside about a situation that has happened. And again, I had used that approach very successfully for other symptoms. So I thought, okay, I gave myself 2 months to solve the eyesight symptom through this approach. And if I wouldn't solve it in 2 months with this approach, well, then maybe I would buy glasses. So I went to an ophthalmologist to have a diagnosis of what was going on with my eyesight. And the ophthalmologist, a lady in the north of France, when I was back from that research period in Barcelona, she told me that I had developed presbyopia and astigmatism. And I was in my 30s, in my early 30s. So developing presbyopia, the need for reading glasses at such a young age, seemed to me, I don't know, like a curse. I really didn't want to be wearing reading glasses that young. Uh-huh. And then the astigmatism. In any case, I went to my books to look at the correspondences of the symptoms I had been diagnosed and their meaning. And it really felt like a slap of truth in the face. Really, the meaning of those symptoms had me look at my life and make the shifts that I needed to make myself happy. I had to look at what was the meaning of presbyopia. The rest of my life is not interesting anymore. Like the best is already behind. At any age, you don't want to be feeling like that, but really in your early 30s, that's certainly not the moment to be feeling that you've already left behind the best of your life. So you're in your prime, right? And with astigmatism, the message was that I had been betraying myself and I wasn't following my true path. So I really had to look very seriously and deeply and thoroughly to find my truth again and live authentically. And when I did that, within 2 months, my eyesight recovered again. And this time, I didn't take any medicines, I didn't do any exercises. It was just pure introspection and making choices, making changes. So, after these three experiences, and after having improved my eyesight 3 times in my life from 6 or 7 symptoms in 3 different ways, I thought, okay, maybe there's more ways in which you can improve your eyesight, and maybe there's research and trainings and possibilities to work on this field. That's when I chose to devote myself to natural vision improvement. And so I discovered that there are more ways, and I discovered that there was 100 years of research almost. Well, at the time it was 80 years, now it's more than 100 years of research on the topic. And that's when I set myself up to help other people. Yeah. So whatever you're going through, I may not have had the exact symptoms that you have at this moment, but I can assure you that I have had students that had the symptoms that you have, and that I have already helped other people heal from those symptoms. And there's been success stories from people to heal from those symptoms. And actually, I would like to invite at this point, whether it's Digna, Daniela, Diana, Yolanda, if one of you would like to talk about your experiences with vision improvement from other symptoms or from the same symptoms, it would be a great moment to do so. Mhm. And by the way, for those who ask if there's a recording, yes, there is a recording. We always invite you to participate in these lessons live, but you can find them again on Facebook, on YouTube. If you keep the emails that we send you, you will find also the links to watch all these videos. Daniela, tell us about what have been your experiences with eyesight. What was going on with you? What problems you had before you joined the Wake Up Your Eyes free 4-part masterclass, and how did it help you, in particular calming, and how did it transform your eyesight and your life?
Thank you, Ainhoa. I want to share that when I was 14 years old, I developed a kind of ophthalmic herpes. And it was horrible for me because I had a lot of medicines, colirios, and so on. And when I recovered, the ophthalmologist advised my parents for me to wear sunglasses for life, just to prevent the viral infection. I wore sunglasses for many years until I developed another symptom that it was early presbyopia, and I started using glasses for close vision. The recommendation of the professionals was not to stop wearing them because otherwise your vision could worsen. And so I did but I got much worse. And at some point, I was not feeling good because when I used to forget the glasses, I couldn't read and work as I wanted. Finally, I find natural vision, and it was a magic time in my life because when I learned the practices, uh, everything began to be better for my eyes and for my life. I remember the palming was the first practice, one of the first practice I learned, and it was very nice experience. But it was not nice since the first time because I remember the first time I used to practice the palming. I got a little bit nervous because they told me that I had to experience the darkness, but it was not my case because I used to, to see flashes, light flashes. Well, I needed a lot of patience, and I practiced every day, many times a day. And also my problem was the time. When I began to do palming, I was worried about what time is it, and I need to do many things. Let's do this palming, hurry. But at some point, I learned that this palming practice is a kind of sacred time for you and your soul because I practiced a lot of palmings in since I learned, and step by step I got better. And since 2017, I left the glasses. I left to use the glasses. I didn't use the glasses anymore since that year. And I am very happy for that because I know that the palming and the other practices of natural vision helps a lot to recover it, what we lost. That is the relaxation, and that is great for me because now actually I practice every day, many times in the year and the day, the palming. When I use a lot of screens, I used to palming. I do my palmings like I brush my teeth,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a wonderful practice that helped me a lot, as I told you, to recover my relaxation.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the big point in natural vision, to be able to recover the relaxation in our lives, in our eyes, and our soul.
Okay, thank you very much, Daniela. While you were speaking, I was also reading the chat and getting getting ready for answering some of the questions that have appeared. If people are asking if the webinar is recorded and if it's possible to watch it again, yes, absolutely. Some people are asking about if palming and actually the ClearSight method helps with various symptoms, and it helps with floaters, it helps with dry eye and floaters, and palming does help with dry eye a lot. With macular pucker, yes, it's going to help you. We've had students that have had success with macular pucker, macular degeneration, and the effects of retinal detachment. Now, if you have retinal detachment, you need first to see an eye doctor and make sure that the retina is next to the tissue to receive the nutrients. So you need a kind of surgery when you have retinal detachment, and afterwards we can help you recover faster. This is important to say. There's a few cases in which surgery is necessary, and then natural vision improvement can help you recover faster. Retinal detachment is one. And the high angle glaucoma is another one. Normal glaucoma, chronic glaucoma, you can revert just with natural vision improvement. I'm seeing Diana also nodding and nodding. Let me see. Maybe you can help me with the symptom
Yes.
question, and we'll get to others also. Yeah. So macular degeneration. Yes, you can also recover from macular degeneration. We've had students show us their tests from their ophthalmologist, showing how the retina improves before and after practicing natural vision improvement. If you have a condition that is threatening your eyesight, you're going to want to keep having the evaluations by your doctor. They're the ones that can diagnose and tell you how is the health and the quality of your tissues. But we are the profession, vision coaches, teaching you what habits, what practices, and what ways of using your eyes you can use to improve your eyesight naturally. Yeah, so it's a complementary work. Okay. Sophie is mentioning that she bought the book last year. Yay. The anthology. Yeah, great that you're reading it. This is amazing. And it would be lovely, Yorgos, if you start teaching natural vision improvement again. Sarah is asking, and she also repeated the question, if this is like the Bates method or the See Clearly program, which was debunked and discredited in the USA. And I would like to be very clear about this. Science works in a conversation. Science works with a debate, with theories, hypotheses, and proof. Yes? And with any discipline, whether it's physics, geology, biology, or anything, there are things that are disapproved or are discarded, and that there's that. And there's moments where there's new evidence that invites to revisit older theories that had been discarded a bit fast. And also, a single author usually or rarely is right in everything. A single author will probably advance some good ideas and will probably also make some mistakes. And that is also true with Dr. Bates. Some of the things that he found or that he taught or that he thought are brilliant, interesting, useful ideas that modern neurosciences and epigenetics are proving and finding again. The most current and contemporary studies on the impact of sunlight on eyesight are actually converging with some of the findings of Dr. Bates. And there are other parts where Dr. Bates was wrong, like it can happen with any other researcher or scientist. So the ClearSight method is not the Bates method. The ClearSight method has some ideas from Dr. Bates, the ideas that are useful, and the ClearSight method has ideas from many other researchers and many other disciplines as well, with contemporary, current, state-of-the-art research. Yeah, and actually, I'm aware of this See Clearly program. I know about the story, but I have never read those books, or I didn't follow the program, so I have no clue if there are similarities and differences. I really don't know. So I hope this is helpful for you. What I can tell you is that I have been in the French academic system for over 25 years, doing research in French universities. And since 2023, it is in the Mexican university system where we have created this degree for vision coaches. So now the profession of the vision coach, who helps other people take care of their eyes and improve their eyesight naturally, is a profession with a university degree. Okay? If science alone doesn't make you feel comfortable, then let's have the institutions of public education show you how we have endorsement, yeah, for what we're teaching. Okay, let me see. Well, there are more questions, but let's also like alternate answering some questions, moving forward with the topics. So, Diana, would you like to tell us about you? You had strabismus and amblyopia as a kid, and you had surgery for it. You had been wearing glasses, and like me, you had to wear thick glasses for many years.
Mhm.
You had bullying at school and all those inconveniences. And then how did you discover the Wake Up Your Eyes Free for Part Masterclass? What was going on with your eyesight, and what happened afterwards once you found
Mhm.
us? Yeah.
Thank you, Ainhoa. Yes, all you said and more. More other symptoms like hyperopia, presbyopia later, dry eye. And I was 51, and
Mhm.
after 45 years of wearing glasses, I discovered, just as maybe many of you in the internet, a free course which at the beginning I didn't trust because I said, okay, I've been wearing glasses so many years, wearing drops, having had a surgery. And I said, okay, what do I have to lose? Let's try, let's give it a try, let's trust. And yes, and it was like that, especially with the palming that we are talking about today. Yes.
Mhm.
And I discovered that what my eyes needed was relaxation. No one ever had told me that I could relax my eyes. Yes, you can go to a spa to relax your body, your mind, but what about the eyes? And it was there. So I said, okay, I did the free course. And I think that by doing the first palming, one day I look afar, and what I saw as a bunch of green, nothing,
Mhm.
uh, I said, wow, those are trees. And I said, this works. This works. So I believed, because I have done so many things for 45 more, 50 years, that I said, okay, let's go on. And I went on and on. And well, yes, I'm here like I was here, like you are on the other side of the screen, listening, but believing, especially believing in myself. Yes, and
Mhm.
trusting the process. Yes, I know you may be doubting, but what do you have to lose? This is just good habits, like the one we are presenting today, like the palming, so simple. Yes, such a
Mhm.
technique that, well, I have read many people saying that they have practiced and they have discovered that. Yes, and it's a process. So,
Mhm.
yeah, and now you are just seeing me, looking at me, yeah, without glasses, taking care of my eyes, with good habits. And this is what natural vision is about.
Mhm.
Yes. And I want to ask someone that, um, Loyal Lion, that speaks about kids. Kids
Mhm.
love playing. So why
Mhm.
don't we play with the peekaboo, peekaboo, with a simple palming? We know about an author that she worked and she works with kids, yes, and this is good for them, but
Yeah.
in a playful way, yes. So well,
Yes.
that's what I discovered. I also played at the beginning.
Mhm.
I said, okay, I wore patches at school and I was bullied for that.
Mhm.
So I now say, okay, that was learning. Yes, now I'm learning about my eyes. I'm
Mhm.
learning about what you talked about, Ainhoa, the emotions, what is going on with my eyes. Yes, and
E
I invite you
emotions,
to know
we
about
will
this. No, 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 I'm not talking about, no.
we'll talk about emotions in lesson number 3,
I
yeah?
know, I know.
And for
Yeah.
yes, and for those who were asking about various researchers and references of books, we are going to present the work of several researchers during the free 4-part masterclass, and we're actually going to talk about a little bit um, um, of some ideas that Dr. Bates shared, the ideas where he was actually right. Let me
Mhm.
see. Somebody was asking, what's the name of the book? Well, is it possible to cure cataracts? Yes, we have people that have reverted cataracts. I'm seeing also people asking about other symptoms. We've had people, yes, have success with strabismus, myopia, and lazy eyes. Absolutely. And Jessica, if you speak Spanish, if you're from Peru, maybe you will prefer to listen to this course in Spanish. Yes. So Angelica was asking, what are those books that mention the correspondence and the meaning of symptoms? So symptoms in general, there's a bunch of them because this psychosomatic approach has many people working on this. If you look at Chinese medicine or Ayurvedic medicine, for some traditional ones, there's a bunch of people talking about this. In more contemporary science, you have Gerd Hammer and the New Germanic Medicine, for example. You have the books of Louise Hay. You have books by German authors like Illness as a Path. I don't remember the name of the authors now. But the approach that I studied and I learned, and the first mentor that I had in natural vision improvement, were the books by Dr. Martin Brofman. And he has 3 books. Anything Can Be Healed, that talks about the whole body as a map and a metaphor for your consciousness. And he has a book called Improve Your Vision or Improve Your Eyesight. I see that Yolanda is showing the Spanish version of that book. And also in English, he wrote another book called The Inner Cause, that is kind of a dictionary of the psychological meaning of symptoms, so to satisfy your curiosity. I actually started reading those books in 1999, attended my first workshop in 2002, and it was very impressive, the healings that I observed in that workshop. I met Martin Brofman in person in 2005, and from 2007 to 2014, where he passed, I was the only person that he wanted to translate all the workshops that he taught in Spain, because he said that I understood all his theories and hypotheses, all his ideas, and how to apply them better than anyone in Spain, at least in the Spanish-speaking world. So, and then I went on to study with other mentors about natural vision improvement, etc. And I carried research at the university. I'll talk about that in other lessons. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Diana. Maybe I'll call you again. But let's continue with what we are calling the secret of natural vision improvement. And here we're going to talk about some of Dr. Bates' ideas. We need to start by talking about focusing and how focusing works. Yolanda, do you have the eye model near you? So this is something you can look also in any anatomy book that shows how the eye works and how it's organized. So this is a standard model for an eye, 6 times bigger than a normal eye. And basically, we see, because sunlight comes through the different layers of the atmosphere, of course, filtering a lot of things that wouldn't allow for life in the planet. And then the light that arrives to where we are bounces on objects. And some of the rays, if you turn it sideways, por favor, ponlo de lado. Yes. Some of the lights, the rays of light bounce on objects. And that light comes into the eye first through the cornea. Yes, the cornea is the most powerful lens that we have in the eye. Now, maybe you can remove the top of the eye, Yolanda. Yeah. So the light goes through the cornea, and the cornea already helps to converge the light towards the center of the eye. Yes, and behind the cornea, we have the aqueous humor, which is like water with some proteins and some other things floating there. The aqueous humor is also transparent, and it fills the space between the cornea and the crystalline, the lens. Now, in between, you have the iris and the pupil. The iris is a sphincter. It's a muscle that contracts and expands. It's also what gives the color to the eyes: blue, green, brown, black. And it expands when there's little light, so that more of the peripheral view is stimulated. We only see in black and white in that case, and grays, but we can see movement, and we can have an awareness of a wider part of our vision field. And when there's a lot of light, then the pupil becomes smaller, and the retina and the fovea are stimulated, and that's the part of the retina that has the most cones. So we can see in colors, and we can see details a lot better. So don't be surprised when there's more light. You will always see better with more light. And sunlight is always more powerful than any artificial light. Anyway, behind you have the crystalline. Can you show the crystalline, Yolanda? So the crystalline is a natural lens that has the capacity to bulge up and generate the effect of a magnifying glass when we want to look near, and to become more flat when we want to look far. And what makes that the crystalline becomes a magnifying lens or flat to see far away? The ciliary muscles. The ciliary muscles that are around the crystalline have the power to bend they're also a sphincter, to bend the crystalline or make it flat, okay? And show again the eye, Yolanda. The eye, yeah, there you go. And behind the crystalline, you have the vitreous humor. So it's also transparent. It's also a denser liquid. It has collagen and other substances. It allows for the eye to be round, right? Not to collapse. And it holds the retina in place also. Can you show, leave the vitreous humor? Yes, show the retina. The retina is nervous tissue. It's actually neurons, different kinds of neurons in different patterns that cover all the back of the eye. And you see that there's two orange points. That's the retina. And then there's another one that leaves the eye, more to the other side, Yolanda, and that's the optic nerve. So through the optic nerve, we get veins into the eye, and the optic nerve recovers all the information from all the photosensitive cells that are a specialized kind of neuron, and brings the information into the brain. And in the brain, the information is processed. Actually, we don't see in the eye. In the eye, we have an exchange of light impulses into nervous impulses. Where we see is in the neocortex, in the brain, yeah? But for seeing, of course, we want the eyes to be functioning properly so that the brain can interpret the image and we can see, okay? Now, because things are at different distances, the eye needs to do the work of focusing. And actually, the eye, thank you, Yolanda, does focusing thanks to two mechanisms. And both mechanisms depend on eye muscles, yeah? And to give you an understanding, let's use an analogy of a projector. If you want to project a PowerPoint or slides on a wall or on a screen, if you had the experience of using a projector, you know that for the image to be sharp on the wall, on the screen, you need to do things. The first one, and it will have the biggest impact, is to make sure that the projector is close enough or far enough from the screen. If the projector is too far or too near, the image will not be sharp, regardless of how much you try to adjust with the lens of the projector, right? So first you need to find the right distance for the projection to be accurate. And then, mechanism number two, you're going to adjust with a little wheel to make sure that the image is as sharp as it can be. In the eye, we have both mechanisms. If you can show the eye again, Diana or Yolanda, the full eye. Okay. Show, yes. So show it up, yeah. So there's outer, no, don't open it. Don't open it. Keep it closed.
Oh, sorry.
You want the full eye, yeah. So you have muscles up and down and to the sides, yeah. The recti muscles, yeah. And you also see that there's two other muscles, the oblique muscles, that are up and down, yeah? So let me show, this is not a model, but in a way, so you have the oblique muscles that are holding the eye, yeah? And the recti muscles up, down, and left and right that are also around the eye like this. And in the beginning, ophthalmologists thought, and that is also true, that these muscles help move the eye in direction of where you want to look, which is also true. But these muscles are 400 times stronger than what is needed just to move the direction of our gaze. And what Dr. Bates found afterwards was that actually these muscles play a role in keeping the shape of the eye that is needed for focusing. So if we want to focus near, the oblique muscles will make the eye a little bit longer. Yeah, the oblique muscles will make the eye longer. And if we want to see far, the recti muscles will keep the eye a little bit shorter. And these movements are really, really small. Even 1 millimeter of difference in the length between the cornea and the retina, 1 millimeter of difference, generates 4 diopters of correction required if you were going to use glasses. Yeah. So the first mechanism, putting the projector closer or further away from the screen, actually, that is what the oblique and the recti muscles do for the eye. And the second mechanism for having the sharpest image is done by the lens, by the crystalline. That probably everybody already knew, right? And when conventional ophthalmology and optometry do not consider the role of the outer muscles, then the only solution that you are left with is wearing glasses. If you believe that your eye is too long or too short, then the only way you can help the lens to compensate for an eye that is too long or too short is to wear glasses. But when you do understand that if the eye is too long, it's because there's tension in the oblique muscles that are keeping the eye too long all the time. And when your eye is too short, it's because the recti, sorry about that. When the eye is too short, it's because the recti muscles are pressing the eye, keeping it in tension all the time. Well, that now you have a different understanding. Yeah. And all of the most common eyesight symptoms we can see in terms of pressure and tension around the eye. So myopia or nearsightedness is the oblique muscles keeping the eye too long. Hyperopia is the recti muscles keeping the eye constantly too short. Astigmatism corresponds to irregular tensions in the recti muscles that change the shape of the cornea, and thus the focusing cannot be homogeneous, and there's distorted lines or shadows or double vision. And with presbyopia, it's the muscles around the crystalline that are too tense and that don't allow for the focusing to happen. And so if the cause for those 4 refractive errors is an excess of tension in the muscles that are responsible for that part of focusing, then the solution is relaxation. And if these theories were not true, then when you palm, you wouldn't notice improvement. But if you were palming and you were noticing improvement in your focusing, then it means that relaxing the eye muscles is having the required effect so that you can focus better. So you can do the test and experience for yourself. Now, palming, and we're going to talk about it more, has several functions. Yes? But before that, I want to show something. For the muscles in the eyes to be able to do the work of making the eyeballs slightly rounder, slightly shorter, slightly longer, the muscles need to be relaxed. For the muscles to be able to perform those micro movements, they need to be relaxed. And how can we show this? Well, make a fist, clench your fist, and keep your fingers very strong, tightly in. Okay? Now there's tension in your hand. Now try to move your fingers. You just can't when there's tension. But if there's relaxation, then you can move the fingers however way you want to do or you need to do. Okay, so let's go to palming. One of the main reasons why palming is so helpful for improving your eyesight is indeed that the heat of your hands, and somebody was also mentioning that there's a secondary chakra on the palm of your hands, has relaxing effect on the muscles, and probably beyond also healing effect. But even if we just stay with warmth, the warmth of your hands relaxes the muscles. The contact of skin with skin generates relaxation for human beings, locally and also in general. And also when we palm, we are generating darkness, and darkness has also other positive effects. So every time we blink, every time we palm, every time we sleep in a dark room, the opsins are regenerated in the retina. And the opsins are the substances that allow for us to perceive colors and allow for us to perceive contrast. So every time your eyes are in the dark, it's as if you were refilling the ink cartridges of the printer of the eye. You're refilling with the different colors and you're refilling the black ink. Yeah. So palming is good for both reasons, for darkness and for heat, for energy. So this is why palming is better than an eye mask, even if you can use an eye mask to sleep, as long as it doesn't put pressure on your eyes. And this is also why when you're doing palming, you also want to do palming with your eyes closed, because what you want is to generate darkness. Okay, Diana, Yolanda, any one of you would like to explain how you do palming step by step with all the details? And then we'll answer some more questions about palming. Okay, Yolanda, so all yours. You can explain the palm.
Yes, it will be a pleasure. Hi, everyone. If you watch me, in case you have not seen video one where Ainhoa explains how palming is done, just watch me so you can practice then after this. So first thing, shake your hands. That way you lose any tension that you are being holding. And once you feel that your hands and your wrist and your fingers are loose, rub them together, and this creates the heat and the warmth that the eyes welcome so much. When you feel that they are warm enough, you place your hands like in scoop shape. So this area will be surrounding uh, the eye bone around your eyes to avoid pressure on the eyes, and the fingers you can cross them like this or like this, but never like this because you will not create the proper enclosure for darkness. So once you do this, you place your hands like this. Well, for me it's more comfortable like this. um, at this point, you can close your eyes or you can open them to make sure everything is dark or as dark as possible. And once you feel it, you adjust your hands to create that darkness. You close your eyes. Make sure your nose is not pressure so you can breathe, right? And relax your shoulders, relax your neck. Breathe deeply at your own pace. There are some positions more comfortable like this because at some point your arms can get tired or your shoulders. So in this case, I will grab like a pillow. I have it here, like this, and place my elbows on the pillow so that way I have some support that I don't have any tension or my neck and shoulders. And from there, just enjoy, relax, and be in the present. Don't think about next step, next thing that you have to do, next goal, your supermarket list. Just relax as much as you want. The only thing about this, I don't know if you want me to mention this. I know about the time now, or you are going to mention it later.
Time for palming. It's always a good idea to palm as long as it feels nice. Let's start from there and then we'll get more detail, more granular. So
Yeah, also you do palming as long as you like, as far as it feels comfortable. Yeah, and the position, deep, ample breathing. There are more positions that you can use for the palming, like placing the elbows on your knees. So you go down, or when you go to the restroom, you can do a little palming there. Another position is laying down on your bed in case you do palming, which is very beneficial and very encouraged before going to bed. You lay down and then you do the last palming of the day. If you don't have time, in case you just have a few minutes a day to do palming, do it as the last thing you do during the day. This will allow you to sleep better, to relax your eyes before going to bed. But if you want and have the time to do it more often, like waking up, in my case, I do it several times a day. My first palming, because I had in the past very dry eye. I relied on sometime prescription eye drops and then just regular tears, artificial tears. But since my first palming, I stopped doing using the drops for my eyes because I felt that my eyes starting like imagine dry sponges that you put in water and they expand is how my eyes felt when I started doing palming. And from there, I stopped using the eye drops. So it's been
Okay.
a blessing for me. No more dry eyes.
Yes, great. That's true. You hadn't had the opportunity before to explain your success stories with palming. So thank you for explaining palming and for sharing your story. I would like to now address some more granular, detailed questions about palming. We have got some of them also here in the chat. Yes, palming is practiced without glasses or contact lenses. You want to remove all of that before starting, and you can rub your hands, shake them to release the tension. And remember, the technique is called palming. It's not called fingering. So the idea is not to put your fingers on your eyes, but to put your palms on your eyes, right? And close your eyes. The fingers go to the forehead. So let's take some time now to answer some questions about palming. I'm going to add Diana also.
Mhm.
Um, so it's practiced again without glasses or contacts. And then once you have removed your glasses and contacts, stay without them as long as reasonably possible. And I insist on the reasonably because, of course, your safety and the safety of people around you come first. So if it doesn't make sense because it would be dangerous for you to drive without glasses, please do put your glasses on for driving. We don't want you to have an accident or to harm anyone. Yeah, but maybe when you're sitting at the table and you've already served your own food or your plate is full, you probably don't need to see every little thing in the plate to be able to eat it. So you can remove your glasses, right? So again, if you're going to be using dangerous tools or you need to do a specific work that requires seeing with sharpness, put your glasses on. But the more time you spend without the glasses, without the contacts, the more time you give the opportunity to the eyes to adapt to seeing better. Okay. Now, the position, Yolanda was mentioning several. You can do palming sitting. You can do it in front of a table with a cushion to make the elbows be comfortable. These lab desks, these lab
Mhm.
desks, actually, that sometimes you would use to put the computer on your lap. Actually, I turn them around and I use the part of the cushion for my elbows for palming. So this is also a very practical tip that you can use. Now, more things. You can do the palming laying just before going to bed. And there you may want to put a cushion in front of your chest. I see that Diana has one, yeah, to hold the arms in place so that the elbows don't fall on the sides. Or you could put like a belt for holding
Mhm.
the elbows. More things that you can do. Yolanda already spoke about the going to the toilet. You could also use your chair, turn it around, and put the elbows on the part where you rest the the back. I mean, I'm looking for my words here. So
back.
palming is
Yes.
done with closed eyes because you want darkness. And the idea for palming is that it's a moment of rest. No clapping, no pressure, no stretching, no exercises, no movement. In any case, you can add some music or a scent or do affirmations or meditation, but the idea is to relax. Yeah. Now, I see that there's some people also asking when they have issues or problems with their hands. If you lack a hand, for example, or it's injured, well, you can use the hand that is not injured, alternatively on the eyes. Yeah, and you keep your eyes closed.
Mm.
Exactly. You can do it like that. What else? Yeah, it's good to have deep and ample breathing. Um, a blindfold or being in the dark, while it's helpful, it's not the same as palming. It doesn't have the same effect. You want to sleep in the darkness at night, but the blindfold or pure darkness won't have the heat and the energy of your hands. It doesn't have the same effect. Um, and how long do you practice palming? So you can practice palming as long as you please, but there's a couple of exceptions to this. I saw in the chat someone was asking about glaucoma. If you have glaucoma, practice palming only up to 5 minutes. Yeah, every time. You can practice palming several times a day, but each time don't go beyond 5 minutes. Actually, the safe time is 7 minutes, but
Mhm.
we've got a couple of minutes because it's easier to remember 5 than 7. And also, you stay on the safer zone when you practice 5. Yeah. And if you have high myopia or vitreous or retinal detachments, you will want to do palming with your head up, not the thinker position, for example, or not on the toilet, but you can do it when you sleep because you're laying on your back and you do the palming on the cushion. Yeah. More things that you would like to mention about palming? More
Im-
questions? Yolanda, Diana?
Important
Yes,
point. Oh, sorry.
so
Yes, Yolanda.
yes, people. I've seen people saying, "I just did it one day." And how many days you do palming? I do palming every day. I brush my teeth every day. I wash my face every day, and it's so easy this to become a habit. And when you do it, as we said, with being present, relaxing, it's going to be part of your life, even during the day. Just a minute during your day while working and taking a break from your day is really something so easy to incorporate in your daily routine.
Mm-hmm.
And as we mentioned before, sleeping is amazing. And when I end palming, I don't remove my hands suddenly from my eyes
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want the eyes feel like the light coming in so suddenly. So what I do, and is could be something like this: removing my hand slowly, and then bringing my fingers like this, so the eye gets used to the light coming through the fingers, and then little by little I start blinking until my eyes feel very comfortable to be opened.
Okay.
Mhm.
So while you were explaining that, I was looking through the chat and noticing that we already answered a number of questions. Diana, maybe you want to add something else too?
One important suggestion, we said
Yes.
it, but do not put pressure. No,
Mm-hmm.
that's why we want to keep the hands like this and this position. Yes, but not do
You're
not press. It's as I know, I said it, this is not fingering or like no. Keep the hands relaxed on a pillow, yes, or a cushion, but always make this cup and put
yeah.
it here, but no pressure. Yeah, this
Yes.
is very
It's if you were
gently, mm, gently to
as
your
if you were
eyes.
holding
Yeah,
an
it's
egg,
like
so you want to
yeah,
be covering your eyes. Exactly.
yes,
Um,
yes, yes.
So I see someone's asking if you had surgery for cataracts, how much do you do the palming? So a good rule of thumb is practice palming each time that you have time and that you feel like it. Practice palming as long as it feels pleasant. If it stops feeling pleasant, then stop it. And people that don't have glaucoma or high intraocular pressure, which is most of us, we could do very long palmings. I mean, we have colleagues that lead palming that last a couple hours, and they sing and they recite poetry, and they incite to imagine things and do affirmations and things like that. So you could palm for hours if you want. Now, if you have glaucoma or high intraocular pressure, the reason why there's an issue for doing palming longer, only in those cases, is that it could increase the intraocular pressure, because when a liquid dilates, it occupies more space. And if you have high intraocular pressure, you already have the problem of having too much liquid taking too much space. But if your eyes are normal, which is the case for most people, you can palm as long as you want. And if you have a restriction and you shouldn't palm more than 5 minutes at a time, then in lesson number 2, we are going to teach you another technique that you can combine with palming, and then you can have a longer practice combining. Yeah, but we will teach it in lesson number 2. So I see that there's several people asking about kids, young kids like 7, 13, and 10, who have been wearing glasses past 5 to 7 years. They can recover. You probably want to frame the practice as a game and do it with them, so it's pleasant and so that they want to do it. But if they practice, kids can improve their eyesight at any age. Yeah. Also, you are asking, if we do more, the number of times the exercise on a daily basis, would it be more effective? Actually, what happens when you practice more is that you give more opportunities to your body for your eyes to function well and to function normally. And there are some practices like palming and others that we're going to teach you that you want to make a habit, like brushing your teeth, right? Or combing your hair. Others are more like optional. If you have time, if you think about it, you can do it, and it's great. But it's a bit like if you sprained an ankle, probably you're going to first follow a process where for several weeks you're going to be focusing on recovering the functions of the ankle. And you're very intentional and dedicated for a number of weeks. And after that recovery period has passed, then, well, you make sure that you walk every day, right? Or you go hiking once in a while. You do other things spontaneously to take care of your ankle, but you're not like on the job all the time. Yeah. So with eyesight improvement, I would say you probably want a few weeks where you put the focus on doing the right things for your eyes to recover your eyesight. And once that your eyesight has been recovered, then there's a few practices that you will want to do to keep your eyes in optimal shape. And palming and the other techniques we're going to be teaching you, yes, can benefit keratoconus. Absolutely. Okay, let's continue with more details about palming, and we'll continue giving you the 5 tips and practices. Actually, there's some that are already intertwined, but we're going to make them explicit. Yeah, so how many days do you practice palming? How many days do you drink water, or do you brush your teeth? It's a good idea to make it a daily habit. Yeah. How many times a day? I would say as many as you feel like, as many as you have the opportunity. If you're feeling your eyes tired at the office, you can do a little palming at your desk. And if you feel sensitive about it, well, go to the toilet and you can do it sitting on the toilet. Yeah. But if you're going to do it only once a day, like Yolanda said, then let it be before you go to sleep. And then you maximize the benefits because you have relaxed eyes just before giving it hours of sleep, so the eyes can be relaxed for many hours. Yeah. Not only the eyes, but also the mind, the brain, your body. It helps with sleep as well. Yolanda already and Diana showed how to end the palming with blinking, right, in a gentle way. When you practice palming, when you start practicing palming, you could start feeling some sensations that are a bit unusual. Mhm. You could feel your eyes resting, your eyes stretching, your eyes opening, and those are pleasant sensations to have. And when that happens, it's great. You could also have the sensations of feeling tension in your eyes. And usually it is because you were not paying attention at the eyes. You didn't even know how tense they were. And now that you're becoming aware of them, the body's revealing the tension so you can let it go and do something to continue letting it go. And sometimes when you release tension, the more hidden layers of tension start emerging and you start feeling that. So if you feel a little bit of tension in your eyes when you're practicing palming, it's part of the process. It usually doesn't last very long and it goes away as you continue practicing. It could be, it's not common, but it could be that you experience a little bit of headache or a little bit of nausea. And actually, a lot of people or some people report that when they start wearing glasses and they have to adapt their eyes to the glasses, they get headaches and they get nausea. So it's kind of the same, but in the reverse mode, right? And the more you have the ability to let go of that tension in your stomach, the stomach and the diaphragm are um, the um, the areas of the body that are reflecting the eyes. Yeah, the more you let go of the tension in the stomach, the more you let go of it in the eyes, and vice versa. So it's just a warning here that if you have mild, slightly uncomfortable sensations, it's an indication that you actually started the process. If you have never been running and you start running one day because you want to do a marathon, for example, I'm telling you, the first few days that you're going to go running, your legs are going to hurt. Yeah. And then as you keep running, well, that will diminish and then you'll feel better and better and more fit. So, guess what? When you start moving the muscles in the eyes, in the beginning, it's going to be a little bit unusual. It can be a little bit unusual, and then it'll get better and better. And you will see better and better. Again, you can add to the palming music, scents, meditations, affirmations. And yes, palming is useful for any symptom, and you can use it at any age. You can also do it with your kids, you can do it with elder people, you can support them with that. Okay, let me see. And if you haven't started noticing anything yet, because I'm seeing someone from London that tried palming from 2 days and didn't see a change, I would invite you to persevere a bit more. I mean, a lot of people start noticing the effect of palming the very first practice that they start, whether it's with sensations in their eyes or eyesight improvement. For other people, it may take a bit longer because what we want to do is relax the muscles in your eyes so that they can do the focusing again properly. Tomorrow, in lesson number 2, we're going to teach another relaxing technique that you can combine with palming or do on its own, and that also relaxes the eye muscles and stimulates the retina. So stay with us. We're going to teach you more things. And Lara, if you experience nausea when you do palming while lying in bed, well, you're letting go of some tension that you need to let go of. Yeah. Oh, I see Adelita saying, when I started palming, 5 minutes were too long for me, and I currently can easily palm for 20 minutes and enjoy it so much. Yeah, it happens like with many other practices. If you start meditating, maybe in the beginning it's very difficult and very boring, and you cannot sit still, and you want to move on to the next thing. And as you practice, the practice becomes easier, more pleasant, and any level, any amount of palming that you do will help your eyesight. Again, with glaucoma and high intraocular pressure, only in those 2 cases, make sure that you don't go beyond 5 minutes at a time, but you can do them several times a day if you want. Okay, more things. For me, it's important that we learn why we do the things that we learn. I mean, a lot of people want the recipe, the technique, the exercise to do it. But when you understand the principle behind the exercise or the technique, then potentially there's many other practices and exercises and techniques that you could use because they follow the right principle of what you need, in this case, to take care of your eyes and improve your eyesight. So what do the eyes need? The eyes need relaxation for focusing. Palming and other techniques allow for that. The eyes need movement. I see some Spanish here. Please, Yolanda or Diana, signal this because it shouldn't be there. So the eyes need movement. Movement also allows for the eyes, the muscles to keep relaxed and to focus better. The eyes need to look at details. We'll go into that in lesson number 2 more as well. The eyes need diversity of stimulation. Mhm. What makes you curious? What do you find beautiful? What do you like to see? What is familiar? These things are important for your eyesight. The eyes need contrast. We'll talk about contrast also in lesson number 2. The eyes need light. We'll talk about light and sunlight in lesson number 2. The eyes need darkness. We've been talking about it here. The eyes need good nutrition and detox. We'll talk about this later on. The eyes need hydration and oxygenation and breathing. If you were paying attention when Diana and Yolanda were showing the model, you can notice that most of the eye is water. Water is already 75 to 80% of our body, but in the eye, that proportion is even bigger. The most of the volume of the eye is water. So you need to make sure that you're drinking water and that you're drinking quality water. And also, we know that the brain is the organ that consumes the most oxygen in the body. About 25% of the oxygen of the body is consumed by the brain, and it's a relatively small organ in volume and weight. Guess what? The eyes are part of the brain, and the eyes consume much more oxygen proportionally than the brain. Actually, the tissue that consumes the most oxygen in the body, in the eye, is the retina. And the macula in the retina is the tissue that consumes the most oxygen. So if you want to see sharp and with good colors, you need to be breathing well. Breathing well and breathing good air. So that's important. And when you're giving all these things to your eyes respond, your eyes get better, your eyes see better, and you can have better eyesight for life. And we will go into more details about some of these topics. And finally, the 5 tips and exercises. We did already tell you some, but they were intertwined with things that we were talking about. So let's now be explicit. Diana, Yolanda, one of you would like to talk about blinking? Yeah,
Yes,
so
of course.
all yours, Diana. So talk about blinking.
Blinking. We don't blink as much as we think we do. Yes. And blinking is so important. What I'm doing now, you are seeing me. Yes. Because it gives the eyes an opportunity to rest first. Because when we shut the eyes, even if it's for a microsecond, the eye is in a dark zone. Yeah. So we blink. Yes. We provide darkness for the eyes, rest for our eyes, and our system too. Yes. The blinking provides also oxygen to the eye, more tears, which are so important to lubricate the eyes. Yes. So we blink, as you see me now. And nowadays that we all work with computers, cell phones, screens, it's so important to blink. Because if you are conscious, you are all the time looking at the screen like this, and this creates tension around the muscles of the eyes, as we saw before. So when we blink, we rest. This is just a microsecond of resting for the eyes. The blinking makes also the tears around the eyes. And when we blink more, the eye is tearful, actually, yes? Especially, I don't know, try when you are in a windy day, yeah? We tend to do this. And what happens? Tears. That's water for the eyes. That's hydration for our eyes. And these moments of contrast, as we said before, for the eyes are also good. Contrast of light, darkness, light, darkness. So blink more. Blink more, remember, especially in front of the screens. Yeah?
Absolutely. The screens don't
Yeah.
blink, so we tend to inhibit blinking when we're in front of a screen. And when we're wearing glasses, the glasses also inhibit blinking. They also have other problems. Glasses reduce our field of vision, and they make our eye rigid because we're looking through the center of the lens, which is where it's actually uh, fine-tuned for focusing at the distance they were created for. So when you spend less time with glasses, you're allowing for your eyes to have better habits of seeing by themselves. And going back to blinking, so darkness, relaxation for the muscles, spreading the tear, stimulating the production of tear, reducing the debris or the things that like cleaning the eyes, making the cornea more round and sharp. So
Yes.
blinking has a lot of good properties for seeing. And Diana was saying that you probably don't blink enough. You're not aware of how little you blink. You probably blink less than you're supposed to. The natural rhythm for blinking would be blinking about every 2 or 3 seconds at the most. And I see people completely hypnotized by screens and spending very, very, very long times without blinking in front of a screen. So we're going to do a little test to make you aware of how your eyes feel when you don't blink, and you're probably doing that to yourself without noticing, but now you want to be aware of it, and how your eyes feel when you do blink. So I'm going to set an alarm for 30 seconds. Yeah, Diana and I are going to also try to not blink for 30 seconds first. And then I'll set the alarm for 30
Mhm.
seconds. During those 30 seconds, we'll be blinking like every second. Okay, I'll kind of do the beat, and you can see what the difference is for your eyes when you don't blink and when you blink. Okay, let's see. So let's start. And 1, 2, 3, don't blink. Okay. It's kind of difficult not to blink. And we're not
Well,
blinking. Oh, you lost.
we
Eyes are
lost.
itchy. Oh, I had to blink too. I was for 13 seconds without blinking, and the eyes were feeling strained and red and itchy and irritated and uncomfortable. 8 more seconds, 8 more seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ah, my goodness. Uh, so I don't know if it was like for us, but it would be good. So if you need to go after the 90 minutes, well, you can watch the remaining of the video. We're taking a bit longer. And if you can stay with us longer, we're giving you more information. But I would like for you to tell us, how did your eyes feel when you were not blinking? And if you're like us, they were probably itching, they were irritated, they felt tense, and it was not pleasant. Now we're going to do the opposite. We're
Mhm.
going for 30 seconds, we're going to blink every second, and we can tell the difference. Yeah. So I'm going to show the pace approximately. Okay. So
Ah,
um, we
easy.
probably, yeah, easy. We don't need to blink that much. We can blink every other second. But when we blink, we can notice immediately that the eyes relax, that they're at ease, that there's no sensation of dry eye or of having objects bothering the eyes. So when we blink, yeah, the eyes feel a lot better. Okay, so you probably feel the difference. So here come more tips for improving your eyesight. So we already spoke about breathing. if you breathe, if you practice any kind of yoga breathing techniques, for example, the square breathing where you breathe, you inhale 4 times for 4 beats, or 4 beats. You hold 4 beats, you exhale 4 beats, and you hold 4 beats. People sometimes count seconds. Let me invite you to breathe, aligning your breath with your heartbeat. This way, you're creating coherence between the circulatory and the breathing system. It gives more relaxation to your body. There's more coherence. And also, as you relax, your breathing becomes deeper and longer. But in any case, breathing, super important for seeing well. And a lot of people are in front of a computer and they hold their breath, for example. Yawning every time you feel like it. A lot of societies consider it impolite, but when you're yawning, you're bringing a lot of oxygen to your brain and your eyes, and oxygen is so important for seeing. Stretching, every time you feel like it. The muscles in the eyes are connected with the muscles in the rest of the body through the fascias. So you want to make sure that not only your eyes are relaxed, but especially your neck, your jaws, but your body as a whole as well. Look far. We already said that the resting position for the eye is looking far. So the more you look far out of an open window or outdoors without glasses, without any glass in between your eyes and the world, the more your eyes can rest. And blinking, we were already talking about this. How can you look far without glasses with high myopia, like -10? Well, maybe this is the moment to bring Digna, because she started with -18 and she has improved her eyesight. She doesn't need glasses for her daily life at all anymore. And let's have her explain her own experience. Digna, if you could unmute yourself. There you go. Your mic is muted, Digna. You need to put your mic on. Oh, there you go. So, but you can look far and be curious about details, even if you're not seeing things sharp. Give the instructions to your brain to want to see far and to look far. Digna, all yours.
Thank you for everyone to come here. I know, thank you for letting me share my testimony. Actually, I feel like a miserable person because I had -18 myopia. So it was the time when I discovered this course. It was an amazing day because I learned from Ainhoa about the exercises. The key was the palming, or it is the palming. And I made for myself 3 points for making my sight back or feel recovering my eyesight. 1 point, what I did is to understand how the palming is working and how the palming made me more see clearly. The second point is take off my glasses as much I can. And the third point, have good attitude for relax all your body and the mind and the soul and do the palming.
Yeah. Can you show the glasses that you were using before you started, and now you can do your daily life without them? Can you show them, because the glasses are like thick, like the
like of course.
There
you are.
Yeah. So see the difference, and now Digna can see without glasses. Thank you so much, Digna. I would like to keep sharing also, because we promised 5 tips, but we've actually given more, or we want to give more. And so, laughing and crying. Eyes have two functions, to see and to express emotions. And when you inhibit one of them, the other one is impacted too. In lesson number 3 of this course, we'll talk in depth about emotions. But for the time being, make sure that you give yourself space for laughing and crying when you feel like it. If you live in a dry environment, make sure that you have a humidifier. And guess what? Eyesight works thanks to the brain, we said. In the eye, there's an exchange between light and nervous impulses, right? But it's in the brain where vision is processed. And actually, the centers where vision happens are very near are in common with memory and imagination. So make sure that you spend time remembering, especially happy situations, and that you spend time imagining, especially happy situations. For example, that when you go to see your doctor the next time, he tells you that you don't have cataracts anymore, you don't have macular degeneration, or your myopia has decreased and you don't need so many diopters, or your prescription is smaller, or you don't need to take drops anymore. Now, afterwards, have the appointment and have the appointment, have the doctor really tell you that for real. But imagining those situations will make it more likely for them to happen. Yeah. And like Digna said, even more tips, make sure that you have focus, a positive focus. Focus on the things that you do see and not on the things that you do not see. We live in a culture where we are used to express our frustration for all the things that we feel we're not enough, or we cannot do, or we cannot have. And actually, in this way, we're feeding the physiology of stress. And when we are stressed, we literally see worse. When we feed the physiology of relaxation by gratitude and celebration, we literally see better. And this is how the autonomous nervous system is wired and how it affects eyesight. So make a point of celebrating that you see colors and movement and shapes, and that you see more and more things that you didn't see before. And the more you do that, I even invite you to have a notebook where you write your progress with vision, and also the more activities you can do without glasses. You will see that those lists keep growing and growing. Also, sleep in the dark. We already said that. Remove electronics, little pilots, and little lights in your room. You could use blinds and blindfolds also, but make sure that they don't pressure your eyes. And use the glasses as little as possible. Again, reasonably possible, safety first, and also being functional. Would you like to add some more things, Yolanda, Diana, or answer questions that you've seen in the chat? Yes, go ahead.
Yes, regarding the use of glasses as little as possible, I did when I saw this class it was at the end of 2024, 20, 23. And I said, okay, I don't use the glasses anymore for being in my house. I don't need them. Even that I couldn't see, I had, let me explain what I had. I had hyperopia, astigmatism, and presbyopia, besides the dry eye that is gone and photophobia that is gone. But I started just removing my glasses when I was home, even for eating, even that I couldn't see clearly what it was on my plate. I said, okay, this is my challenge. And it's not a challenge. I'm giving my eyes the freedom to start seeing better. Well, let me tell you this, after 3 months of doing this, I could drive without wearing my glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And probably 6 months after, I could drive even at night without using glasses.
Okay.
So, and even for reading, I use them. Well, I don't use them. I use other tools when I need. But it's just giving your my eyes the freedom. But of course, everybody's different. If you work, if you need those for work, please always be gentle to your eyes.
Yes, that's a very good answer. And I'm seeing Renata is asking how long time did you practice until you no longer use glasses? 1 year? It actually depends from, like, everybody's different, like Yolanda said. We've had students that in 2 weeks they could let go of glasses and never use them again, ever, for anything. We've had people, the most common is that in a period of 2 to 3 months of regular practice, most people let go of the glasses and revert the bulk of their symptoms. That's what's most common. Yeah. Now, for Digna, for example, it took her, but she was starting with minus 18. It took her several months. I think it was about 9 months or something like that. So it depends. And but the important thing is that the moment you start practicing, the quality of your eyes and your eyesight starts improving. It may take some accumulative effects to let go of the glasses, but your quality of life and the sensations in your eyes and your eyesight starts improving from the first moment, usually from the first moment you start practicing. And any degree of increase and improvement in your eyesight yields benefits for your life and your lifestyle. So I would like to invite you to go for it, whether you reach 100% or 80% or 60% improvement, and whether it takes 2 weeks or 9 months, go for it because it will transform your life. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so I would like to do a little reminder that this was the live of lesson number 1. Tomorrow we are releasing the video of lesson number 2, and a couple days later we will do the live, and then we will have lesson number 3. In lesson number 2, we'll talk about very important tools that we can use instead of glasses in the transition process to improving our eyesight. We will learn about light, artificial and natural light, and how we can harness the power of light to improve our eyesight. So it's very important that you come. We will teach the instant focusing technique in lesson number 2. In lesson number 3, we will talk about emotions, and we will talk about how you can release 15 eyesight symptoms, those that you have, that your spouse, your kids, your parents have. So it's going to be useful for the whole family. And in lesson number 4, we will talk about the 6 scientifically proven levels that you can use to improve your eyesight. And these are the schedules for the lives. The videos you get by email. This is the reason why it's so important that you actually register. And the lives are happening in YouTube and Facebook at the same time as today. But here is a reminder. Oopsie, we don't need this. Okay. So tomorrow we start lesson number 2. What are we going to talk in lesson number 2? We're going to talk about false myths and limiting beliefs about your eyesight and how they're keeping you from improving. So you want to clean the database in your mind, in your brain, to have better results faster. We will teach the second star technique of natural vision improvement. We will teach you how to see better with 3 exercises that you can practice in 5 minutes. And we will provide eye charts so that you can evaluate instantly how much your eyesight improves with the practice. If you cannot print the eye charts, don't worry, use a book, use a newspaper, use some uh, printed letters that you have somewhere at home, and you can also check it. We'll teach the instant focusing technique and much, much more. So make sure that you are registered so you can make the most out of this workshop. Make sure, if you haven't done it, that you watch video number 1 or that you watch the remaining of the recordings that you have pending, and practice, practice, practice. Practicing is what's going to make the difference, right? Practice makes perfect. So make sure that you are registered so you get everything. Again, there's a recording, but if possible, practice live. If you're looking for the videos and it doesn't open, click on the various images until you find the video so you can play it. It works for all the symptoms. If you have eyes on your face, it works at any age. It works if you've had surgery or not. So practice and see with your own eyes. Now, before we wrap it up, if Daniela, you would like to say something else, or Yolanda or Diana, you'd like to answer some more questions or say something else.
I would like to add that it's important to be really engaged and has that intention of improving. Yes. And minding our words, because the first thing we do when we take out our eyes, we say, I don't see anything. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Your eyes can see. You can see colors, you can see light, you can see darkness. So your eyes are alive. And this is a free course to wake up your eyes. Your
Yeah.
eyes are waking up from today, now, and go on. Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, very good point. So some people say if I have my glasses, I don't see anything, or I'm blind as a bat, when for most people that is false. They see a bunch of things, maybe not sharp. So focus on
Mhm.
what you do see and enjoy the world like a contemporary art museum. Yeah. But in lesson number 2, in the live of lesson number 2, we'll teach you the instant focusing technique. You're going to see with your own eyes that you actually have the capacity to see a lot sharper than you experience or than you believe. Yeah. So watch out for that, because that's very mind-blowing, eye-opening, and also very practical. Mhm. Okay. Let me see. So there's people thanking, very happy for that you found the information valuable. And there's, as usual, also questions about symptoms, like does it work with glaucoma and tiredness and floaters and crusty discharge? Yes, it does. Does it help with myopic degeneration? Yes, it does. Does it work for kids? Yes, it does. Do they recover faster than adults? It depends. It depends on the support they have and the possibility of transformation and practice they have, but they can heal very fast. So if you are short-sighted in both eyes and have a cataract in one eye, it helps for that too. With narrow angle glaucoma, yes, you can heal this condition now, because there's a larger risk than with chronic glaucoma. You want to make sure that you are followed by your ophthalmologist. And if the intraocular pressure would go up very suddenly, there may be the need for a surgical procedure. But if you practice, especially if you combine palming with the technique that we teach in lesson number 2, it's going to help a lot for narrow angle glaucoma. Okay, let's see. Yeah, glaucoma improves with palming. The quality of your tears improves with palming and with more things that we're going to teach you. You saw your first eye improvement 2 weeks after you started practicing palming. Amazing. So continue with it. We already answered about time. And thank you for the appreciation. Okay, exciting that it can be achieved quickly. Again, everybody's different. We are not making promises, but it is possible. Okay. And I'm seeing more comments for the amazing live. And thank you, thank you, thank you. Great. So thank you, Diana. Thank you, Yolanda. Thank you, Daniela, for being here today. Thank you, Digna. If any one of you would like to say something else, it would be nice. And otherwise, my question for you who are watching is, how would you like for your eyesight to transform? And whatever you imagine, it's likely possible. We don't know the time frame, and we don't know how much, what level of practice it will require from you. But we have thousands and thousands of success stories in writing and in video of people who have gone through our workshops, our courses, and have improved their eyesight naturally. Yeah. Imagine how you will feel seeing better, and that with age, your eyesight improves instead of going worse, like it is for most people. Yeah. So, again, interested or engaged? We are going to show you what we know, but you need to practice it and apply it so that it's useful. Yeah. Let me show a few reminders of some resources if you want to register for this course. If you haven't, check the clearsightmethod.com. You can check our videos on YouTube. You can follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can follow us on Facebook. We have information there too. You want to check some testimonials. We also have a page with a selection of them. And if you have any difficulties with the process, you can anytime contact our team at ainhoa@clearsightmethod.com, and the team will be very happy to support you. Yes, Yolanda and Diana are part of the team, for example. So yeah, we are here for you. So what would you like to learn more? And what did you get in today's session? If you would write some comments of what are the main aha or the main ideas or the practices or the realizations that you had, that's helpful for you and it's helpful for us. Yes? And in any case, congratulations for your commitment, for showing up again for a live and for being for this whole time with us. So this is going to be it for today. So take care, be happy, practice, enjoy the beauty of life. And if you practice, we'll see you soon and you will see us better. Take care. Bye-bye.